Okay, so what you see here is part of a model that I'm working on. And there's a lot of stuff in this file, right? Here's the spider body, and then legs. And that's only four of them, right? There's going to be four more on the other side. I didn't want to put them in yet because it's going to like double the vertices, and you can see this file is already chunking a little bit. It's not moving very smoothly. I mean, I'm dealing with an older computer. It's an i7 processor and it's got 24 gigs of RAM, but it's a 10-year-old computer. So, there's tons of stuff in here. Right? Left hand, right hand, and there's a lot of little pieces to those hands still, so I wanted them separate. And I like to keep things in folders so I can turn them on and off. And you see right now, I'm running into lag because there's just so much stuff in this file. And whoops, we want that helmet back. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. And whoops, we want her back. Now the problem is, I had designed a belt and a bra for her, but it disappeared. And I'm guessing I accidentally deleted it because there's just a ton of stuff in this file and I didn't realize it was selected or something, or maybe it was somewhere else and I don't know, somehow it accidentally got deleted. And am I screwed? Is it gone? I have to recreate it all? Haha, no. And this is why. So we're going to go open. We're not going to save this because we didn't. Now, this is why you want to save in increments as you go along in a project, especially a big project, right? Now, here, and I should really rename this because it was called circuit board because originally there was a big circuit board that she was going to be standing on, and I decided to cut that out, even though I may put it back. But I never changed the file name, and it doesn't really matter. But now, when I saved 3 as I did because it was before I started doing the sculpting. I here you go. You can see there's no face. All of these pieces of the head and the body are separate, right? So in the 4 version of this file, I joined a lot of that together and I started on the sculpting. But somehow I lost these bits, right? The bra and the belt. But I still want that. So how do I get that out of this file and into that file? Well, there's probably tons of ways, right? I could name this stuff. I got to find it where it is. It kind of what I like to do is I will just do this. I'll hit Alt H. Wait. Let's turn all of these back on. All right, now look, there's a ton of stuff in this file, and as I turn it on, look at how slow and chunky everything is running. It's really, it's kind of drives me crazy, and I really want a new computer, but well, that's a whole different video. So we're going to hit A to select everything, and then I'm just going to hit B and deselect, hit B and deselect. Now this is obviously deselecting more than I want, but that's okay. This file's getting so big that it's getting very difficult to work on. So I'm going to deselect all the elements that I want. Now this is where you got to be really careful. Okay, so now I'm going to hit X. Oh, see? We want that back. Come back. Baby, come back. There we go. Now, we got to get in there. We got to deselect that bra. Okay, I think, no. What I think I may even do is I'm going to separate the whole character from the rest of this so I can sculpt on it separately. It was a notification. Okay, let's try that again. X, delete. Okay, now that got all the parts I want. Now let's get rid of some of this other stuff. And for this to work, you can't move stuff. right? It helps that the female figure is in pretty much the same spot it was in before. So now I'm going to go File, Save As. And you want to be really careful not to accidentally save. And then I'm just going to rename this, I don't know, something that makes sense. We'll call it Bra Belt. And we'll save. Now, I could have gone in here and found where I had stuck all these parts, or I could have just selected these parts and then hit Move to Collection and created a new one and then put them in a new collection, and then they would have been easily to find, and then I could rename them, and then I could have just appended them. That's definitely a way to go. But this is the way I'm going this time. So we've got all of these saved. And you can see here are the folders where the files were. How this got into there, it shouldn't have been in there. I'm going to have to fix that. But we can delete these. I mean, you really don't even have to. It doesn't matter. But I can be a little weird. I like to keep things neat when I can. Otherwise, weird stuff happens, like accidentally deleting a bunch of stuff you really wanted. So now I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to go Open Recent, and I'm going to go into 4. Right? And it's going to take forever to open because there's so much in this file. So now we're going to go File, Append. And there's my bra and belt. Now we go into Object. And now we just select everything. Whoops. Now we select everything. And we go Append. Bink. And there it is. Now, while everything is selected, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to right click. And someday it'll catch up because I want a faster computer. I want a faster computer. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what happened. I have a Logitech trackball mouse, and it constantly conflicts with the screen capture software on Ubuntu. It's really annoying. So I got to take out the receiver, and I got to put it back in, and now I get my mouse back. So now I right click. I'm going to move to collection, and I'm going to make a new collection, and I'm going to call it clothes. Whoops. Clothes. I think I still spelled that wrong. There we go. Clothes. And now it automatically puts everything in clothes. And I got my objects back, and I didn't have to recreate them. So please, if you're doing a complex file, save versions. Save a lot. And save versions. That's way if the program crashes and something gets corrupted, you haven't lost everything. You've only lost, up to what you've done so far. I mean, you do have your blend backup, your blend 1 backup, but I don't like to rely on just that. I like to cover as many bases as I can. So save often and save versions. It'll save your butt. Trust me.